First, now, this is Midday Live.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Midday Live on this Monday, March 25th. I'm Isaac Calvert.
And I'm Raquel Dominguez. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Almost waking up. It feels like that. We're just now recovering from the weekend, nonetheless. So some people might just be waking up, and this is the first show they're seeing. So we are thankful that you are tuning in. And we have a lot of great guests joining us. Well, we have two great guests joining us, talking about a ukulele and pickleball summer camp. Two great things combined into one this summer. Sure to be a lot of fun. We have some folks from Essential Music coming in to talk about that. It's going to be a great time. I've never played pickleball myself, but it's definitely looking like we're getting into that pickleball weather for sure.
Yeah, it feels great out there, except for today. We're going to get some spring-like madness, especially later tonight into the overnight and through early Tuesday. Right now, we're watching for a couple spots with drizzle. Despite the cloud cover and a little bit of light rain, we're really feeling quite nice out there. However, if you're stepping out the door, do keep in mind it's going to be quite breezy for the rest of our Monday ahead, especially into the next several hours. Once we track into this evening, that's when we have this wind advisory going into effect, and it'll continue through at least Tuesday morning. We are tracking strong winds nearly at 20 to 30 miles per hour outside of storms, and then inside of storms, winds around 45 miles per hour are not going to be out of the question. Temperatures across the area right now quite comfortable. We're at 59 here in town, 61 in Greenville, 59 in Litchfield, and then we're also in the upper 50s for those folks east of Bowling Green. Highs today will reach a high near 67 degrees, and those clouds will stick around for much of today. But again, we are tracking the potential for strong storms tonight, producing some very strong winds as well. I'll have a full look at that forecast coming up next.
Thank you, Raquel. A man was arrested in Adair County after police say he shot his landlord. Kentucky State Police say that 57-year-old Joseph south of Columbia was in the process of being evicted by 87-year-old Earl Coffey when he fired into his residence. KSP reported that Coffey died from gunshot wounds and that 4 other people were in the building at that time. South is charged with murder and wanton endangerment, and he's currently being held at the Adair County Regional Jail. We have the latest details involving the death of a missing man in Allen County. The citation revealed that Glenn Snook was arrested and charged for murdering Johnny Crawford of Tennessee and later admitted to police of the murder. The report says that Snook warned Crawford to leave the property as he was climbing over the fence. After both men argued, Snook said he shot at him, striking him in the head and the shoulder. Snook said after Crawford fell to the ground, he then took Crawford's dead body, stuffed it into a trash can, moved it to a burn pile, and put debris over it. The next day, he said he retrieved Crawford's truck and set it on fire. And we have an update for you regarding the man who drowned on Saturday in the Barron River. Warren County Coroner Kevin Kirby said that the man was 58-year-old Thomas Lee Gravel. BGPD said he was at Weldon Pete boat ramp in Bowling Green Saturday morning when his boat slipped in the water, and he was attempting to retrieve the boat, and that is when he died. Now, over in Barron County, do not forget that this week is Cleanup Week. It's a program that the county holds that helps residents easily get rid of some of the trash they might have. For Glasgow's Free Cleanup Week, they want residents to be prepared for when the garbage truck comes by to pick up the large items and other trash items they have. Have them ready by the curb by 7 a.m. on your trash day pickup, and you can find more information on Cleanup Week on our website, WBKO.com. As we gear up for the total solar eclipse in just 2 weeks, we have an official warning for you. Officials say scammers are putting fake solar eclipse glasses up for sale. Not only could this hurt your wallet, it can also cause permanent eye damage as well. One way to make sure they're real is by looking on the inside of the frame. It should say they fit the qualifications. In other news, Christian Hansen, a WKU grad, has taken on the mystery of the octopus murders. It's a conspiracy involving the death of a journalist and all the secrets that came with it. After 10 years of fascination and investigative journalism, Hansen and his friend were able to release their Netflix docuseries titled American Conspiracy: The Octopus Murders. Take a look.
Politics, drugs, government conspiracies, and death. This only hits the surface level of the octopus murders conspiracy. And for WKU alum Christian Hansen, it all started for him right here in this house.
My research into this, what became this film, started at Western Kentucky University in my capstone journalism class. We had the whole semester to write a magazine-style investigative piece on the theme of the role of money in politics.
He then went down a rabbit hole. What started out as clothing factories turned into prisons, which led him to a private prison industry, Whack and Hut Corporation, and last but certainly not least, the death of journalist Danny Casolaro.
The story started, at about 3 a.m. in Bowling Green in my apartment. Clicked on the Wikipedia link for the Whack and Hut Corporation. And that was, I feel like that was the moment that this project started.
The product, a 4-episode Netflix docuseries called American Conspiracy, The Octopus Murders.
I had to go at one point to meet this source, to leave my car and my cell phone in an airplane hangar, be blindfolded and driven by him, blindfolded out to his property. That was terrifying.
The several-year span of filming the project gave Hansen and his friend and director of the film, Zachary Treitz, all the rewards and risks of investigative journalism.
The story of a journalist named Danny Casolaro from Washington, D.C., who started working on a story about a stolen software that turned out to be stolen spy software that led him into a international network of arms dealers and spies and unsolved murders.
This experience hasn't deterred Hansen or Treitz. In fact, it makes the chase all that more exciting.
As the stories that we're potentially pursuing get newer, they get that much more dangerous. Who knows? We've turned sort of into adrenaline junkies at this point.
The Octopus Murders became the 4th most popular show on Netflix at one point, gaining more than 14 million hours of views.
When I was at my apartment in Bowling Green, going to my classes at WBKO up on the hill, studying this story on the side, I would have never thought that it would have been basically a hit.
Reporting in Bowling Green, Meredith Scheimer, WBKO News.
While he's originally from Louisville, Hansen said he would definitely come back to Bowling Green and that attending Western Kentucky and living here were some of the most formative times of his life. In Kentucky news, Baptist Health is encouraging people to get colon screening, saying it's more important now than ever before to get checked. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Even though people are typically advised to get screened for colon cancer at 45 years old, it can impact people of all ages. Those with a history of colon cancer in their family are advised to get tested 5 years earlier than the age of the youngest family member with the disease. Doctors say early screenings can save lives.
When you do the screenings appropriately, the vast majority of people catch their cancer at a very early stage that oftentimes can be treated with minimally invasive techniques. Don't just say, well, I'm not 45 yet. Listen to your body. It's usually pretty good at talking to you.
Now, colon cancer is more common in Kentucky than any other state in the nation. Some Baptist Health locations will be hosting some free colon cancer screenings this week. Baptist Health Louisville is hosting a colon cancer screening this Saturday at Beulah Church Farmers Market from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Baptist Health Hardin will also host one as well this Wednesday from 9 until noon at the Nelson County Fiscal Court. There's companies that will take some people with disabilities to the doctor's office, but what about to the symphony or to a Reds game? A new company in northern Kentucky is trying to change that. It's called Ride-A-Wave, and it's a wheelchair-accessible transportation service operating in northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. Now, unlike Uber, Ride-A-Wave drivers will come inside and help customers to the van. It's a service that customer Tom Rouse greatly appreciates.
A lot of people in my condition are dependent upon other people to lift them up, put the wheelchair in the trunk if you can, take them places, keep them from falling down, or if they fall down, pick them back up. And you get tired of asking people to help you.
Rouse's driver.
Other companies offer similar services, but Ride-A-Wave is the only one that allows people to schedule on the same day. And tomorrow, the JCPS board will hear the district's presentation on their new transportation plan that some say would leave many schools high and dry. Last month, the district presented 3 options to the public. Now they've narrowed it down to only one option. That plan would take away busing from magnet and traditional schools. JCPS says they had to go with it because they don't have enough drivers to cover their routes and get all riders to class on time each day. But those opposed say this would just make things harder for parents.
We need to be in a position that our daily routes do not exceed our daily drivers available.
For low-income families specifically, the possibility of providing transportation for their magnet students would be substantially low, furthering the educational gap between social classes.
The district says they're working with TARC to make sure magnet students would have access to public transportation or they can transfer schools.
I just ask that you mamas out there hug your babies tight tonight, please. Please, for me, just hug your babies tight tonight.
Truly tragic and raw emotion from the parents of Riley Strain in Nashville. The search for a missing college student has come to an end. On Friday, the body of 22-year-old Riley Strain was pulled from the Cumberland River in West Nashville. Officials say the preliminary autopsy results reveal his death was accidental. They say toxicology results are still pending, but there is no apparent foul play.
The epic 911 episode that left you hanging continues Thursday.
Bobby and Adina's cruise ship is missing.
Let's go! We're flying into a hurricane. 911, Thursday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
You are busy. Working, parenting, problem solving. At New Chapter Vitamins, we've been busy too. Innovating, sourcing organic ingredients, testing them, and fermenting.
Fermenting?
Yeah, like kombucha or yogurt. And we formulate everything so your body can really, truly absorb the natural goodness. That's what we do. So you can do you. New Chapter. Wellness well done.
The epic 911 episode that left you hanging.
I am going to be right there.
Continues Thursday.
Bobby, you okay?
Strap in
Bobby and Adina's cruise ship is missing.
for a wild ride.
Let's go! We're flying into a hurricane.
I can't see anything.
Go back, go back!
Don't miss an edge of your seat.
Mayday, mayday, mayday!
911, Thursday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Welcome back to Midday Live. The time is now 11:12, and joining us now is Juliana Waller-Martinez and Bonita Dearbone. They are both with Essential Music, and they're here to talk about the 2024 Uke and Pickleball Summer Camp. I've never heard of such a combination, but my goodness, what a fun one to say the least, that's for sure. Thank you both for being here today to tell us a little bit about this. So, Bonita, tell us a little bit about how this kind of came together.
Well, I've known Juliana for such a long time, and we were just talking about what fun, innovative camp can we do that's not, something that nobody has heard about in town. Just like, hey, she's an excellent musician. I love sports. Why not mesh the two together?
That's
and
perfect
here we
right
are.
there. That's right. That's right. So coming from the music perspective, Juliana, tell me a little bit about why an event like this, not an event, this camp is so important for area youth.
Well, thank you so much. It is important. Music is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Summer's a great time to be engaged in enriching activity. And music, you can play whether you have any experience or not. In this camp, you'll get to play and learn about the ukulele. This is an example of one type of ukulele.
Yeah.
So our campers will be able to play the ukulele, learn the parts of it, read tablature, get an ebook.
Yeah.
So engaging them in music and culture.
Yeah,
and then having the fun of the outdoor activity of pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely. The skills kind of translate with each other, hand-eye coordination with ukulele, hand-eye coordination with pickleball.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tests the mind and the physical attributes for sure. So obviously, if there are kids who are kind of hesitant, it's like, I've never played pickleball, I've never played an instrument. What advice would you give to them to maybe entice them to maybe sign up for this camp this upcoming summer?
Well, come and have a blast.
Yeah.
We have 3 sessions, 8:30, 12 noon, and 3:30. You get an hour of ukulele instruction with Carlos and I, an hour of pickleball and other outdoor activities. And we're really going to engage our campers in the activity of music, so you don't have to have any experience. And our location is beautiful. Essential Music is on 5 acres of grassy, beautiful property with 4 pickleball courts. So we want to welcome you to the property where our studio is located. And enjoy something new and different. We're also conveniently located in Bowling Green, in Alvaton, just behind September Lake. So it's also easily accessible. It can be a new music destination for students a new chance to have a lot of fun with sports over the summer as well.
That's right. So I know it's for mostly youth. What are the age groups, age ranges that can sign up?
9 to 13.
9 to 13. That's critical age right there. That's for sure.
Is.
So, how do they go about going through the register process?
So you can go to essentialmusic.org and you'll see on our website an easy way to sign up for camp. It's $185 for each session. You get your ukulele, you get an ebook, you get a t-shirt, you get loads of fun, and also a paddle. And the sessions are 2.5 hours long. And we'll have like a group A and B, so there'll be some interaction between the 2 groups as they switch out. But we want them to register and try something new. And you're going to be instructed by 2 professional musicians, and Bonita is a professional athlete and trainer, so we're so excited about that connection. You're also connecting to Essential Music, and I've been teaching in this area for over 20 years, so we're so excited about our location and doing something casual and fun.
That's always casual is my favorite part about it.
Aren't we all ready for some warm weather and some fun?
That's for sure.
But you know, the thing about music is it doesn't have to be intimidating, like maybe classical violin or piano or trumpet. That the ukulele is such an accessible instrument, whether you have the wood one or this is a really fancy carbon fiber one. And it's just pretty neat. We can learn strumming as well as melodies, and we're so excited to offer this as a new camp and perhaps many others too in the future.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned 185. Now that might seem like a steep price tag, but for a paddle and a ukulele, that is a great price. That blew my mind for a second because those aren't cheap. Neither of those items are cheap for sure. So kind of tell us one last thing. Why is Essential Music? Why is that such an important organization? Not only for the community as a whole, but just as a big resource within the community, and why is it so important for just people to sign up and get more involved?
Thank you so much for asking that. I've been a musician my entire life, and it's so important in my experience to bring culture not only to youth but to our entire community. So we have already hosted well over 50 concerts that we've held on our property with students and guest professionals. We've streamed concerts. This is also the location of our studios where we teach private lessons. And on our campus with the pickleball courts, we have 4 and a beautiful 5 acres. It's a way to connect to us and music, and more importantly, our community and bringing culture. We want everyone to have access to culture, specifically through music and through sport, right? Music's going to meet sport.
Absolutely,
When I used to be in shape, I used to do marathons and triathlons, but it's great to interact socially, the cognitive skills, and I guess just bringing the culture and having a new event and meeting us. What do you think?
Just like team building, you get to be out in nature. That is just so super cool.
Yeah, I think that's...
And pickleball is not intimidating at all. You don't have to know how to play. It's super easy to learn. It's very easy. It's not. The risk of injury is very low. So there you go. Come on and just have fun.
That's right. That's what it's all about. That's for sure. Well, thank you both for being here today. It's been a pleasure having you both, and it's going to be a very fun camp. That's for sure. 2 great things coming together for one. To find out more about this summer's uke and pickleball camp, you can visit essentialmusic.org, or to sign up, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen. It's all taking place this summer, June 17th through the 21st. We'll be right back with more Midday Live.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by MedCenter Health.
Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Raquel Dominguez here on this Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. Right now, we're looking at variably cloudy skies. This is our live look at Scottsville Road here in Bowling Green. We could still see a couple of very, very isolated light showers, more so like light sprinkles heading into the next hour or so. But overall, all of us are trending quite cloudy into the rest of the day. Better chances for rain arriving later tonight. That's when those winds are going to start to pick up as well. And we could even see a few of those storms heading into the overnight as well, along with those winds. Cloudy skies right now taking place for most of us, but we are seeing a couple of spots with sprinkles, especially those folks east of I-65 towards Munfordville, Columbia, Tompkinsville, Glasgow. But again, that chance for rain will remain pretty limited throughout the daytime. And then once we head into the nighttime, that's when we're going to see those better chances for widespread storms. We also have a wind advisory in effect that goes into effect tonight, continues through Tuesday morning, as we are going to see winds around 20 to 30 miles per hour all day today, but they'll start to ramp up, especially later tonight. Outside of storms, they're gusting around 30 miles per hour, but within storms, they could gust around 45 to around 50 miles per hour. So if you have any kind of outdoor, maybe Easter or spring decorations outside that could get damaged in these winds, make sure to bring them inside for the time being. Speaking of the time being, temperatures are in those low 60s for most of us. We're at 61 here in town, 60 in Greenville. We're at 60 in E-Town as well. For the next couple of hours, things are actually looking quite nice. We're going to see afternoon temperatures peaking in those low to mid 60s. And then heading into tonight, thanks to an area of low pressure, we're going to see those widespread showers and storms moving in from about 8 to 9, about 10 o'clock. That's when we're going to see those rounds of heavy downpours, and that's when we're going to hear those rumbles of thunder as well. Within some of these storms, we could see a very, very low severe weather threat, but the main focus here is really going to be with those strong winds. Again, they could gust around 45 miles per hour within some of these stronger storms. These storms will continue into the overnight commute. I wouldn't be surprised if we do wake up to a few rumbles of thunder, but I do want to emphasize, again, no severe weather is expected. That threat is very, very, very low, but we will see some lightning, some thunder, and also some of those stronger winds as well. By the time the sun rises tomorrow, we should be clear from those storms. Temperatures starting off in the upper 50s and will warm up to those 60s once again. Get used to those winds starting today and continuing through tomorrow. Even right now, they're going to gust anywhere between about 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then, of course, those stronger winds are expected closer to midnight and throughout the overnight time frame. Right now, the severe weather threat is very low, but if it does get elevated, we'll let everyone know and also issue a first alert weather day. But just keep in mind that it's going to be very stormy and very windy at times. Those winds will continue through Tuesday, gusting around 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then we do look a bit cooler heading into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, highs only in the 60s there. By Saturday, we're tracking a few clouds, highs near 72. Then Easter Sunday will feature maybe one or two stray showers with highs right around 70 degrees.
All right, thank you, Raquel. We have a recall alert for you this midday. Chrysler is recalling more than 280,000 vehicles because of airbag issues. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says air inflators for the right and left side curtain airbags are at risk of rupturing. The manufacturing defect means if the airbags were deployed, occupants could possibly get hit with sharp metal fragments. The recall is for 2018 to 2021 Dodge Chargers and Chrysler 300 models. The agency says dealerships will replace the airbags for free. If you have any questions about the recall, you can call Chrysler's customer service line. The time is now 11:25. Coming up after the break, it was a busy weekend at White Squirrel Brewery, and folks are preparing those big hats for the Kentucky Derby. All of this and more coming up in Good News.
You are busy, working, parenting, problem solving. At New Chapter Vitamins, we've been busy too, innovating, sourcing organic ingredients, testing them, and fermenting.
Fermenting?
Yeah, like kombucha for yogurt. And we formulate everything so your body can really, truly absorb the natural goodness. That's what we do, so you can do you. New Chapter. Wellness well done.
It's time for some good news for you this Monday. Well, things were certainly getting prickly at White Squirrel Brewery Sunday afternoon as people settled in for a pop-up succulent bar. And before the pandemic hit, Jill Thornhill was an HR manager, but knew she wanted something more. However, when she needed to find a COVID-friendly alternative to a lemonade stand for her son, she knew just the thing: handmade and delivered succulent gardens. Now, WKU alumni owns Classy Cactus, a thriving plant boutique in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and travels across the area hosting pop-up succulent bars.
But this year, I had the opportunity. I have some friends here in Bowling Green, and we just got to talking, and they're like, you should come and set up here in Bowling Green, and it's only an hour and a half. So that's really what started the journey of doing these pop-ups. From Bowling Green, because we were here last month, and it was so successful. This one is so successful. We're traveling to Chattanooga, Tennessee, Evansville, Indiana. So you're going to see us popping up in different areas.
Thornhill said the next big project is a diamond succulent bar, which would allow participants to add gems to their gardens in collaboration with Bowling Green's own Morris Jewelry. And over in Lexington yesterday, Kentuckians were appreciating nature with International Earth Hour event. It's a period of 60 minutes where people across the globe step outside, unplug from social media and technology, and do something good for Mother Nature.
Spending time outdoors and in contact with nature, the birds, animals, it really kind of puts things in perspective of how special just the outdoors and nature is.
The world's first Earth Hour was held back in 2007 in Sydney, Australia, where 2.2 million Australians turned off their lights for one whole hour. And the total solar eclipse is almost here. Over the weekend, a NASA ambassador helped the little ones get ready for the big day. The event was free. Kids were able to learn more about the history of the eclipse, why it happens, and what to expect when it actually comes. They were also able to enjoy some interactive activities. NASA Ambassador Mandy Scurry says it's important for people of all ages to understand the upcoming once-in-a-lifetime event.
I think that when you don't understand how many moving parts need to happen, even on a celestial level, for something like this to happen in any one spot, you don't understand how special it is that we get to have it in our backyards.
Scurry also emphasized the importance of having solar eclipse glasses and making sure to only take them off when we are in complete totality. And the annual Derby Museum Hat Show happened Sunday at the Kentucky Derby Museum. The event featured 5 local milliners who got to walk the runway in some of their favorite hats. After the show, attendees got to meet the milliners, check out their designs, and start planning out their Derby outfits. Because every year, the Hat Show gives a preview of new trends that are expected to be popular at the Derby.
When you're talking about Derby 150, anything goes. We could see a lot of flashbacks to Derby's past. We could see a lot of modern trends that maybe we haven't even thought of yet. So really, for Derby 150, I think people are going to go all out.
The 150th running of the Kentucky Derby takes place on Saturday, May 4th. So share your good news with us, and you just may see it right here on Midday Live. Submit your stories, your photos, and your videos at WBKO.com/good news.
From WBKO News, local first now. This is Midday Live.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Midday Live on this Monday, March 25th. I'm Isaac Calvert.
And I'm Raquel Dominguez. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, well, if you're just now tuning in, you missed a couple of great guests we had. We had a couple people from Essential Music come in to talk about an upcoming summer camp they have with ukuleles and pickleball. Two great combinations. It's almost like peanut butter and jelly. You don't really,
exactly.
I mean, when it first got invented, you probably didn't think it went together, but hey, you never know. It might be something, match made in heaven for sure.
I know, you can't go wrong with both of those. So put together, I can only imagine how fun that will be. So
that's right.
I'm excited because we're also getting into some outdoor sports seasoning.
That's right.
I mean, seasons. We're going to see warmer temperatures on the way continuously, seeing that cloud cover right now, but overall we are quite comfortable for the time being. Seeing a couple of sprinkles, especially east of I-65. We'll continue to see breezy conditions as well, especially through tonight. That's when this wind advisory goes into effect. It continues through Tuesday morning as we continue to see the potential for winds outside of storms around 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then inside of storms, we'll see those winds right around 30 to 45 miles per hour. Some of those winds could be even stronger. So with that being said, if you do have any kind of outdoor decorations that could get damaged with winds like these, I would suggest bringing it inside to keep your belongings nice and safe. Temperatures across the area right now sitting in the 50s and low 60s. We're at 59 in Russellville, 61 here in town, 61 in Glasgow, 59 in Munfordville. Highs this afternoon will top out near 67 degrees. So despite the clouds, despite some of those sprinkles we're seeing and those breezy winds as well, we're still going to be very, very mild. But then come tonight, that's when we're tracking those rounds of rain and storms and those powerful winds as well. I'll have a full look at that forecast coming up next.
Thank you, Raquel. In national news, two of former President Donald Trump's legal cases colliding today in New York City. First, he's facing a big financial deadline if he and his adult sons are unable to pay or secure a bond for the $464 million judgment in their civil fraud case. New York Attorney General Letitia James could begin the process of seizing their assets. And he's expected to appear in court today for a hearing in the hush money case. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
In the 11th hour, a New York appellate court lowering former President Donald Trump's bond in the civil fraud case against him. It's down from $464 million to $175 million after Trump's lawyers argued the original amount was a practical impossibility. The massive judgment issued by Judge Arthur Engoron in February after an 11-week trial. Engoron finding that Trump and his sons Don Jr. and Eric had committed a decade of fraud by inflating their assets to obtain better business deals. Trump and his sons have denied all wrongdoing and have appealed the ruling. His lawyers say he tried securing the full amount, but more than 30 underwriters turned him down. Eric Trump speaking out on Fox News.
Every single person, when I came to them saying, hey, can I get a $500 million bond? Maria, they were laughing. They were laughing. Yeah. Top executives of the largest surety companies had never seen anything of this size.
New York Attorney General Letitia James already filing the judgment in Westchester County, New York, in case she opts to seize properties there. She could also move to seize buildings in Manhattan that bear Trump's name and properties out of state. The Attorney General's office said there's nothing unusual about even billion-dollar judgments being fully bonded. Trump also appearing in court today in New York in the hush money case involving adult actress Stormy Daniels.
This is a witch hunt. It's a hoax.
Trump pleading not guilty last year to charges of falsifying business records to conceal a sex scandal from voters. The trial was supposed to begin today but was adjourned for 30 days. But defense attorneys are arguing for more time after more evidence was turned over by prosecutors.
The judge is expected to set a final trial date for the case. Prosecutors urging for the trial to begin next month with no further delay. In a big shakeup at Boeing this morning, CEO Dave Calhoun said he plans to step down by the end of the year. Boeing's chairman and the head of the commercial airplane unit, are also leaving. Boeing has been hit by more than 5 years of problems with its airplanes, including 2 fatal crashes of the 737 MAX in 2018 and 2019 that killed hundreds of people. Most recently, a door plug blew out of the side of an Alaskan Airlines 737 MAX in January, leaving a gaping hole in the side of the plane. The problems have led to multiple groundings for safety issues and more than $31 billion in losses. Calhoun was a longtime board member before rising to chairman in late 2019. And the Daily Wire has parted ways with commentator Candace Owens. The chief executive of the right-wing media outlet shared the news on social media on Friday, writing only that they have, quote, ended their relationship. Owens also took to social media to confirm the news, writing, quote, the rumors are true. I am finally free. Owens joined the Daily Wire in 2021 and has been criticized for promoting misinformation and conspiracy theories. Owens has sparked widespread backlash for anti-Semitic comments she made following the October 7th Hamas terror attack in Israel. The outlet's co-founder, Ben Shapiro, who is Jewish, later called Owens' rhetoric, quote, disgraceful. And 14 years ago, President Barack Obama signed the Affordable Care Act into law. WBKO Washington correspondent Ryan Henson explains why the benefits go beyond keeping people healthy.
Affordable health care was a priority the first time Joe Biden was in the executive branch. Then, as vice president, 14 years ago. High premiums, few options, pre-existing conditions, all issues icing out millions of Americans looking for health care coverage at the time. President Barack Obama's solution? The Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, a program that's still growing annually.
President Biden was able to pass legislation that makes coverage under Obamacare even more affordable, saving families about $800 per person.
According to the White House, today more than 20 million people have coverage for $10 or less a month via the landmark legislation. The healthcare plan has withstood dozens of Republican attacks through the years. The White House says the ACA keeps people and their bank accounts healthy.
When people have access to health insurance, we see reduced rates of bankruptcy, we see reduced evictions, we see more savings in people's bank accounts. And that comes from the security that is associated with affordable health insurance.
President Biden wants to continue to grow the legacy legislation by making the low premium prices permanent. The president has ambitions to cover all Americans one day.
President Biden has laid out a clear vision for an America where healthcare is a right and not a privilege.
In contrast, former President Donald Trump has promised if elected, he'll replace the program with something much better, but hasn't revealed the details. Reporting in Washington, I'm Ryan Henson.
Did you know your reproductive health could impact your lung health? Well, research reveals surprising links between female reproductive factors and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, otherwise known as COPD. With more, here's ABC's Perry Russell.
In the U.S., over 8 million women have COPD, and a new study suggests gender differences may play a role in the disease's susceptibility. Researchers from the University of Queensland, Karolinska Institute, and World Health Organization discovered that several female reproductive factors may influence COPD development. The study identified that women with early or late age at first menstrual period were at increased risk for COPD. Additionally, having 3 or more children, experiencing infertility, miscarriage, stillbirth, or early menopause were also associated with high risk of the disease. Other variables, such as the use of birth control pills and secondhand smoke exposure, could have influenced the study's outcomes. However, these findings have significant implications for identifying women at heightened risk of COPD. With this Medical Minute, I'm Perry Russum, ABC News.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jen Ashton, and here's my prescription for wellness on how to safely dispose of medications. First, remove the drugs from their original containers, and then you can mix them with coffee grounds or cat litter. Then put the mixture in a resealable bag to prevent leaking and throw it away. Next, always scratch out all of your personal information on the empty medicine packaging to protect your identity and privacy before throwing the package away. And finally, check with your pharmacist. Some pharmacies offer on-site medicine drop-off boxes, mail-back programs, and other ways to help you safely dispose of your unused medication. And I'll have more tips for healthy living coming up on GMA3. We'll see you there.
The epic 911 episode that left you hanging continues Thursday.
Bobby and Adina's cruise ship is missing.
Let's go! We're flying into a hurricane.
911, Thursday, 8/7 Central on ABC. The epic 911 episode that left you hanging.
I am going to be right there.
Continues Thursday.
Bobby, you okay?
Strap in
Bobby and Adina's cruise ship is missing.
for a wild ride.
Let's go! We're flying into a hurricane.
I can't see anything.
Go back, go back!
Don't miss an edge of your seat.
Mayday, mayday, mayday!
911, Thursday, 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Now to March Madness. The men's Sweet 16 is all set this morning, and one of the big surprises this year is the number of top seeds still dancing. ABC's Will Reeve has the highlights.
Overnight, an overtime thriller. The Stanford women eking out an 87-81 win over Iowa State.
Stanford survives in overtime!
LSU playing in front of a sold-out home crowd, fighting off a halftime deficit to soar past a pesky Middle Tennessee team.
Angel Reese will zip the pass here for Williams off the fake, steps back for a triple, got it!
The Tigers on track for an Elite Eight rematch of last year's title game with Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes, who cruised through to the Sweet 16.
Getting in the passing lane and getting herself a couple of easy buckets.
And top seed South Carolina dominant. The undefeated Gamecocks winning their first two games by a combined 99 points. And in the men's tournament.
And it is over. The Houston Cougars survive.
One seed Houston advancing to the Sweet 16 after a dramatic finish in overtime. The four top seeds rolling into the next round. Reigning Player of the Year Zach Edey dominant in Purdue's blowout win over Utah State.
Major highlight!
And reigning champs UConn running away from Northwestern in the second half.
And it still pains me Kentucky isn't in the Sweet 16. But nonetheless, we have other sports news to get to. Now to the scandal-rocking Major League Baseball. With just a few days until opening day, reigning AL MVP and superstar Shohei Ohtani is set to address the media later today after his interpreter was fired for his alleged illegal gambling. ESPN is reporting his interpreter and best friend Ipe Mizuhara allegedly used the superstar's money to pay off at least $4.5 million to cover his gambling debts to a bookmaker who is also under federal investigation. Mizuhara denies betting on baseball, telling ESPN he placed bets on soccer, basketball, and football. A spokesman for Ohtani calling him, quote, a victim of massive theft.
This scandal has the potential to be one of the biggest sports scandals that we've ever seen, certainly one of the biggest baseball scandals that we've ever seen. He said he attended the University of California, Riverside, and there's just no record. As it relates to his actual career, he said that he was an interpreter for Hideki Okajima during the Yankee spring training in 2012, but Okajima failed his physical that spring.
MLB has launched their investigation after the Dodgers promptly fired Mizuhara. The IRS is now opening a criminal investigation of Mizuhara.
The epic 911 episode that left you hanging continues Thursday.
Bobby and Gina's cruise ship is missing.
Let's go! We're flying into a hurricane.
911, Thursday, 8, 7 Central on ABC.
First Alert Weather, sponsored by MedCenter Health.
Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Raquel Dominguez here on this Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. Right now, we're looking at variably cloudy skies out there. It's a gloomy start to the work week so far, not to mention we're seeing very light rain showers and some sprinkles for the next hour or so. Then the rest of our daytime does look quite cloudy. It'll look much like how it's looking right now before those winds start to pick up, especially through tonight. This is all ahead of our next disturbance. It's going to bring us a couple rounds of rain and a couple rounds of storms as well. This is our live look at our Doppler Max radar. Cloudy skies continuing through the morning commute. They'll continue into the afternoon as well. Not to mention, we do have a wind advisory that goes in effect later this evening and it expires around 5 a.m. Central Time. Those east of us will have those stronger winds capable of producing around 20 to 30 miles per hour through tomorrow afternoon. Regardless, we're all looking at those intense, powerful winds capable of producing a few power outages throughout the overnight time frame. So just be mindful of that. Right now, things are looking quite nice, though. We're around 61 in E-Town, 61 here in Bowling Green, 62 in Glasgow, 61 in Greenville. So we're all feeling nice and comfortable despite the clouds, despite that breeze that we're already seeing. But for the next couple of hours, expect those nice warm conditions to stay with us. We'll see continuous breezy winds, though, along with some cloud cover. And then come evening time, that's when we're tracking those rounds of rain thanks to a low pressure system that's going to spark up some really heavy downpours and a couple of those thunderstorms as well. Now, keep in mind, this is happening late at night and continuing throughout the overnight, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do wake up to a few rumbles of thunder because of those thunderstorms, but that severe weather threat is very, very low. In fact, we're not expecting any kind of severe weather. The main thing is the potential for those power outages because of those intense winds that are going to pack on in within some of these thunderstorms. So just be really mindful of that, especially if you have any kind of Easter or spring decorations outside, especially those smaller ones that could get blown over or get damaged outside in some of these conditions. Come that sunrise Tuesday, we're all in the clear. Will be cloudy for the first half of the day before that sunshine makes a return, especially in the afternoon, but more so into Wednesday and the second half of the work week. Not to mention, we're very breezy already. Winds gusting around 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout the next several hours, and then heading into the overnight time frame, that's when we're looking at the potential for those more powerful winds. So again, power outages, definitely a possibility for the overnight. That severe weather threat is very low. We're not expecting any kind of severe thunderstorms, but it is very low, not zero, meaning we could get one or two rogue severe thunderstorms. So just keep an eye on that with us. We'll be here at WBKO News. Tuesday afternoon, that sunshine does make a return, highs topping out near 71. And in the second half of the work week does look quite nice, finally feeling more like spring, especially into the close of the work week with highs right around 68. Saturday, we're tracking a few clouds, highs staying in the 70s all the way through Easter Sunday. Can't rule out maybe one or two showers heading into Sunday.
Thank you, Raquel. Actress Rebel Wilson claims actor Sacha Baron Cohen is trying to stop her from writing about him in her upcoming memoir. Wilson and Baron Cohen worked together on the 2016 comedy Grimsby. Wilson also previously talked about friction and disagreements she had with Baron Cohen during filming, even accusing him of harassing her. She reportedly writes about her difficulty working with him in her new book, Rebel Rising. Now, she says Baron Cohen has hired a team to try to stop the book from coming out. On Sunday, Wilson made a post on social media saying she will not be bullied or silenced. The book tracks Wilson's unconventional journey to finding success in Hollywood after growing up in Australia. It's set to release globally on April 2nd. And comedian Kevin Hart won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor on Sunday night. According to the Kennedy Center, the award goes to someone whose humor has impacted American society. Hart began stand-up comedy after dropping out of community college in Philadelphia. He says he is stuck with it all this time because he enjoys making people feel good.
Laughter makes everything go away for a second. For that moment, you're okay. Granted, after laughter, things can reappear, but for that moment or those moments, it's a good feeling. So I love the fact that I am a product of good feeling for myself and others.
The award ceremony will stream on Netflix on May 11th. Past recipients include Richard Pryor, Carol Burnett, Tina Fey, Jon Stewart, and Adam Sandler.
Well, there's one last look at that hourly forecast for us. We're quite breezy into the rest of our Monday ahead. Temperatures still peaking in the mid to upper 60s for today. Cloudy skies are also going to stay with us, but at least temperatures will stay quite pleasant. Then heading into tonight, that's when we're tracking those widespread rounds of rain and those storm showers as well. The severe weather threat is very, very low, but the main concern will really be those winds that could top around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So just be really mindful of that, especially if you have any kind of lightweight decor outside. Wednesday, that sunshine makes a complete return. Highs will be a bit cooler, only in the low 60s. And then the second half of the work week, we'll see a gradual warm up into Thursday and Friday, tracking a few clouds heading into the first half of our Easter weekend, highs near 72. And there's a very low chance for rain heading into Easter Sunday. Maybe one or two stray showers will be likely, especially later in the afternoon towards the evening. But at least those temperatures will stay quite comfortable for those folks that are Easter egg hunting.
Yeah,
I know I
that's
haven't
right.
done that in quite some time.
I haven't done it in the rain per se either, so that might make for a little bit of a fun, friendly competition, that's for sure.
A little dance in the rain.
That's right, that's right. Thank you, Raquel, and thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you right back here tomorrow at 11 for Midday Live. Have a wonderful and safe rest of your day.